Hello Latchkey Kids and Drive-In Mutants. I'm Lady Shasha, Mistress of the Snark, and this is Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood. This continues the tradition of starting the new sequel with a flashback or recap sequence of previous movies. Carol Ann, Firesetter, Carrie White, Tina, that's her name. Tina hears her father abusing her mother, and of course this is extremely unsettling, traumatic, and psychologically damaging to her. So she runs outside of the house and gets into a boat in Crystal Lake. Her father follows her out to the lake, and in a fit of telekinetic fury, she accidentally murders her father. Cut to teenage Tina, who's now returning to Crystal Lake with her doctor and her mother for some type of therapeutic sessions. The doctor is more interested in exploiting her telekinetic abilities than helping to cure her previous traumas. This causes her to go outside and get upset once again and accidentally resurrects Jason. Because those three people are not enough to make an entire Friday the 13th movie, of course there is a cabin nearby with some young people having a party. We don't really know what age they are. They could be college, they could be young adults. I never noticed this scene before, but Tina is super shady boots, slowly backing away from this dude as he's talking to her about his sci-fi ideas. In addition to having telekinetic powers, she also appears to have premonitions. Like in part 5 and 6, this introduces new couples just to kill them. And the kills in this are so fun. I'm talking Jason punching a hole in this guy's back, and of course one of my favorite iconic kills of the entire series, the sleeping bag kill. Some of the kills are a little bit absurd, like for instance when this guy over here gets macheted. You see, he's right there. He's right by the tree. You see him there? But then suddenly he's teleported to the water and Jason can swim now. The aftermath of the machete to the face looked really great, and I believe the filmmakers thought so as well because they showed it 3 different times. The one thing that impedes the kills in this movie and several other Friday the 13th franchise movies is the Motion Picture Association of America, otherwise known as the MPAA. At first this movie was given an X rating and they had to recut it and resubmit it 9 separate times in order for it to get a R rating. Unfortunately, we will never see a uncut version because Paramount has said that they have destroyed the cut footage. One of my favorite characters in this is this little girl here that gave herself a glow up just before Jason got her. She had a great scream though. Bring back blood-curdling screams and horror. This movie had 3 couples trying to get it on at the same time. Is that some kind of record? Not Jordan Peele and his girlfriend get it in the van. And by the way, have you ever noticed how much this Friday the 13th feels like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie? For one thing, there's adults in this. I mean, the doctor's there and Tina's mother's there, and it just has an entirely different feel than any other Friday the 13th movie. I found out while preparing for this video that this one was supposed to be the original Freddy vs. Jason. And that's why it feels like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Unfortunately, Paramount and New Line couldn't agree on a lot of things, so the script was rewritten and Freddy Krueger was replaced by Tina. The final battle scenes are pretty fun. Tina rips some roots out of the ground and wraps them around Jason and makes him faceplant into a puddle, like she's straight Evil Deaded his ass. Then she electrocutes him with a phone wire while he's in the puddle. Kane Hodder's physical acting is giving Jason so much personality. The way he walks, his reactions to things. His portrayal actually has Jason getting mad at different times, and it's all done with physical acting. Oh, and that deep breath. This is why he's my favorite Jason. I enjoy this bit of gore right here. I thought that zombie Jason in this looked great. His hands looked great as well. The very first time I saw this, the ending actually surprised me because I did not expect her to resurrect her father and make him drag Jason into the water like Lake Lanier's latest victim. Overall, I found myself really liking part 7, especially upon rewatching it. It's not my favorite in the series, but it's definitely my top 5. And with that, I'll be back in a moment to talk about Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Welcome back. Let's talk about Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. This starts out with a couple on a boat. The boy actually stops making out with the girl just so he can tell her the legend of Jason Voorhees, and then try to scare her with a Jason mask. That was worth stopping what you were doing to do. Okay. Anyways, their boat electrocutes Jason back to life. Where have I seen that before? Then he takes him out with a quickness and drifts over to this cruise ship that's filled with 30-year-old high school seniors, taking a trip to Vancouver, New York. I've never seen so many teenagers with crow's feet. I recall I really used to like this one. When I was in 8th grade, this was my favorite Friday the 13th movie. Don't judge me. On the boat, there's this creepy McCreeperson-ass teacher. He's the type of teacher that seems to still need all this power over seniors that are about to graduate. You know the type. The one that gets mad at you and says, "You might be graduating, but I still have you for 22 more days."
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
So let's recap the students. You have filmmaker guy, rocker girl, cokehead girl, Julius the boxer guy, doesn't want to be a ship captain guy, and the girl who sees kid Jason visions and is allowed to bring her dog for some reason. I almost forgot the Asian student who has a science scholarship. That's not stereotypical at all. Anyways, the kills are super whack in this. I mean, Jason strangles a girl in the ship's discotheque. Also, there's a scene where he busts his head through a glass window. Jason wouldn't do that. He would have punched his hand through the window and then grabbed his victim. This isn't Jason. Plus, he's teleporting again, and he can still swim. This director thinks he's funny. So, some of them make it to Yorktown, where they're robbed by Californians for some reason. Holmes is not East Coast vernacular, that's West Coast vernacular. They proceed to kidnap Vision Girl and force her to take drugs because that's totally a thing that happens in the city. They try to assault her more, but then Jason shows up to do some more whack-ass kills. Until Jason caught up with Julius, who decides he's going to box Jason and get his head knocked off. The only good kill in the whole movie is lifted from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. This movie does keep two traditions. The first one, if you get in a car, you're not going to get away in it. And also we get a flashback to what happened to Vision Girl. And once again, it is warm enough to wear a swimsuit, but cold enough to wear a sweater, because apparently Crystal Lake has its own set of weather conditions. Anyway, the movie comes to a dead stop just to give us that flashback. Then Jason chases the last two teens through the city, and we get to one of my favorite scenes.
Dead meat slime bag. Yo, man, it's cool. It's cool, man. It's cool.
Iconic. Also, between this scene, the "you're all gonna die" guy on the boat, and Jason's reaction to the hockey sign, I'm convinced that this director made a comedy. Maybe an unintentional comedy, but this movie is a comedy. Kane Hodder's take on Jason is still my favorite. His physical acting sells scenes like this. When he got the toxic waste thrown in his face, it still looked alright. He didn't look as good as he looked in parts 5 through 7, but it wasn't terrible. I meant the adult Jason, not so much the child Jason, because he had hair and then he didn't have hair. It didn't make any sense. This whole movie doesn't make any sense. And then how did Vision Girl foil Jason? He drowned in sewer water, but he just... Make it make sense. Why did I like part 8 so much growing up? This is so trash. Straight basura. This is... What was I thinking? That's right, I was a child. My brain wasn't fully formed. I don't know. Anyways, I like part 7 now better than part 8. But don't take my word for it. Watch it for yourself. Just because I love something doesn't mean you won't hate it, and just because I hate something doesn't mean you won't love it. How do you feel about parts 7 and 8? Let me know in the comments. Bye.
Look, you don't understand. There is a maniac trying to kill us. Welcome to New York.
Hey, did you know that I work for tips now? You could hit me up on Venmo or Cash App. While I'm happy to receive the type of coin that jingles, I love to receive the type that folds. Somebody show these people where the subscribe button is. They don't know what they're doing.